Hello everyone, welcome to the Yarn Bowl Crochet. In this video we're going to see how to crochet this beautiful strawberry frog. It's a simple and easy pattern and it's made from dollar store yarn, Premier Yarn's Chenille yarn, and it's a simple and easy pattern to work with, and it has minimal sewing. And if you would like to have a free written pattern, you can find it on my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com. Link for that is available in the description. And if you have an Instagram account, do follow me on my Instagram handle as well if you want to know on the project that I'm working on, or any new pattern that I'm posting. And if you are new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl and click on the bell icon as well, so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. So I'm working this amigurumi using Premier Yarn's just Chenille yarn, which I got from dollar store, and I'm choosing the color pink and lime, which is a green. And we'll also need some size 5 yarn in white color, so I'm choosing Premier Yarn's Perfect Chunky. And we'll also need some size 4 black yarn to work the mouth details, and I'm using 5mm crochet hook to work this amigurumi. And I'll also need a metal hook to tuck in all the odd bits of yarn inside the amigurumi. I'll need polyfil, and we'll also need 2 tapestry needle, with one for white yarn and one for the black yarn. And we'll need some safety eyes, and we'll also need scissors, stitch markers, and finally we'll need a glue gun to glue the leaf to the frog. First, let's start making the body. For that, I'm choosing the pink yarn, and with 5mm crochet hook, I'm going to work a magic ring, and then I'm going to go ahead work 6 single crochets around the magic ring. So a quick tip here: so whenever you're working with chenille yarn or some velvet yarn, so make sure whenever you're working your foundation round, which is your magic ring, make sure you work loose stitches around your magic ring. So when you tighten the magic ring, so sometimes it might break the yarn when you're working tight stitches. So always consider working loose stitches around the magic ring, so that your yarn doesn't break when you tighten the magic ring. So round 1, we should have 6 single crochets around the magic ring. Once you're done working 6 single crochets, tighten the magic ring, and do not work slip stitch at the end of this round. Instead, we are going to work 2 single crochets on each stitch of round 1. Make sure you mark your first stitch with a stitch marker, and then work 2 single crochets on each stitch of round 1. You should have 12 stitches at the end of this round. So I am just working 2 single crochets on each stitch of round 1. So at the end of this round, I should have 12 stitches. Now I'll go ahead, tighten the magic ring even more, and secure it with a knot. So round 3, we're going to work a little differently. We're going to work 2 bobble stitches on round 3 with some spacing on it. So first we'll work 1 single crochet and 1 stitch, and 2 single crochet on the next stitch, and we're going to repeat this 2 times. So I've worked my first single crochet here. On the next stitch, I'm going to work 2 single crochets, and I'm going to repeat this 1 more time. I'm working 1 single crochet in this stitch, and then on the next stitch I'm going to work 2 single crochets. So after this we are going to work one bobble stitch. For bobble stitch I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook in the stitch, pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on the hook. I'll go ahead, yarn over, pull through 2 loops only, and then yarn over, insert my hook on the stitch, pull up a loop, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops only, and then yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops only, 4 loops left, and I'm going to repeat this one more time. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops only. I'll have 5 loops on the hook now, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull through all the 5 loops together. So this is our first bobble stitch. Make sure you push the bobble stitch a little bit to see if any stitches are hidden underneath it, so that you don't miss any stitches. I'm going to work one single crochet on the next stitch. Just push the bobble stitch on the front, and then I'm going to work 2 single crochet on the next stitch. I'm going to repeat this one more time. I will work 1 single crochet in one stitch, and then I'm going to work 2 single crochet on the next stitch. After this I'm going to work 1 bobble stitch again. So this will be this bobble stitch is where the eyes are going to go. So now you know how to work the bobble stitch. So after you done working bobble stitch, and when you work single crochet or on the next stitch, just push the bobble stitch on the front. Now we are left with 2 stitches here. I'm going to work 2 single crochet on each of these 2 stitches. This is done just to maintain the stitch count of 18 stitches of this round. So I'm going to work 2 single crochets in each of these last 2 stitches. So we should have 18 stitches including the bobble stitch on round 3. And next for round 4 we are going to increment again. I'm going to work 1 single crochet each for 2 stitches, and 2 single crochet on the next stitch around. So mark your first stitch with a stitch marker. I'm going to work 1 single crochet on the next stitch, and then I'm going to work 2 single crochet on the third stitch, and we are going to pretty much repeat the same pattern around. You should have 24 stitches at the end of this round. Always make sure to count the number of stitches at the end of each round, so that you don't add more stitches, or you don't miss any stitches. So one tip here during when you're working with bobble stitch is that make sure you push the bobble stitch on the side to see if any of the stitches are hidden underneath, so that you don't miss them. So you should have 24 stitches at the end of round 4. So the bobble is going to be the eyes. And for round 5 and 6, for the next 2 rounds, we are just going to work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. Don't forget to mark your first stitch with the stitch marker, and proceed working 1 single crochet on each stitch around. You should have 24 stitches at the end of round 5 and 6. Go ahead, work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. Now round 5 has come to an end. For round 6 we are again going to work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. Mark your first stitch with the stitch marker, and work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. So for round 6 also you're going to have 24 stitches. So I'm at the end of round 6 here, Now this is where you're going to place your safety eyes. I got them from Amazon. So I'm going to put the safety eyes here, right just below where the bobble stitches worked. And after that we can proceed with round 7. Round 7 again we are going to work bobble stitches. So just follow along. I'm going to work 1 single crochet on each stitch for 10 stitches. Mark your first stitch with a stitch marker and proceed working 1 single crochet on each stitch for 9 more stitches. Altogether we should have worked 1 single crochet on each stitch for 10 stitches. After your 10 single crochet stitches are worked, we are going to work 1 bobble stitch, which will be your first arm. After your bobble stitch is worked, just push it on the side to see if any stitches are hidden underneath it. So that's my first bobble stitch, and then I'm gonna work 1 single crochet on each stitch for 5 stitches. Push your bobble stitch on the front. I'm gonna work 1 single crochet on each stitch for 5 stitches, and after that I'm going to work 1 bobble stitch again. After this I'm gonna work 1 single crochet on each stitch for my last 7 stitches to complete this round. I should have 24 stitches again at the end of this round, including my bobble stitch. Make sure your stitch count is always correct. You should have 24 stitches at the end of this round. Again, for next 2 rounds, round 8 and round 9, we are just going to work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. I'm working my round 8. I'm just working 1 single crochet on each stitch around, marking my first stitch with a stitch marker, and then I'll proceed working 1 single crochet on each stitch around. You should have 24 stitches at the end of round 8. Round 8 is complete. For round 9 again we are going to work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. So you should still have 24 stitches at the end of round 9. Marking my first stitch with a stitch marker, and then I'll just work 1 single crochet on each stitch around. I'm at the end of round 9 here. Let's go ahead work our round 10. Round 10 is a decrease. We're going to work 1 single crochet on 2 stitches, and then we're going to work single crochet 2 together in next 2 stitches, and we're going to repeat this pattern around. I'm marking my first stitch with a stitch marker, and then I'll go ahead work 1 single crochet on the next stitch, and then I'll go ahead work single crochet 2 together in next 2 stitches. I'm going to go ahead work 1 single crochet each for 2 stitches, and then I'll work single crochet 2 together in next 2 stitches. We're going to repeat this pattern around. You should have 18 stitches at the end of this round. So for round 11 we are going to work our foot here, so we'll be working bobble stitch. So follow along. I'm going to work one single crochet and then one decrease in next 2 stitches, marking my first stitch with the stitch marker, and then I'm going to work single crochet 2 together, which is a decrease, and I'm going to repeat this 3 times. I'm going to work single crochet and then single crochet 2 together. This is my second, and then again I'm going to work single crochet and then single crochet 2 together in next 2 stitches. This is my third, and then we are going to work one bobble stitch, and then I'm going to work one decrease. Make sure none of the stitch is hidden under your bobble stitch. After this, just push your bobble stitch to the front, and then I'm going to work one more bobble stitch on the next stitch, and then after this we are going to work one decrease again. I've completed my bobble stitch here. Now I'm going to push this bobble stitch on the side to see if any of the stitches are hidden, and then I'll work single crochet 2 together, and then I'll push the bobble stitch to the front, and then I'm going to work a decrease, and after that in the last 3 stitch I'll work one single crochet and single crochet 2 together. So you should have 12 stitches at the end of this round. So just leave a long loop and then go ahead, fill your work with polyfil. Now we are at the last round. The frog looks so fluffy. For the last round, which is our round 12, we are going to work single crochet 2 together around. Just work decreases around. You should be left with 6 stitches. You can sew them using a tapestry needle after you're done with your round 12. Just work decreases around, which will be single crochet 2 together around. Just mark your first stitch with the stitch marker and proceed working decreases around. You should be left with 6 stitches at the end of the round 12. I'm just leaving a long loop and snipping off my yarn, and then I'll work slip stitch and attach this yarn to a tapestry needle, and then we'll go ahead sew the opening, and then after that work a slip stitch and secure your yarn, and then you can snip off the yarn, and using a blunt tip of a metal crochet hook, I'm just tucking in the odd bits of yarn inside the amigurumi itself. So we have worked the body. Next we'll work the leaf for the strawberry frog details, and for the leaf I'm picking up the green yarn. I'm just leaving a long loop, long yarn before I start off my magic ring, and after leaving your long yarn, work a magic ring and then work 5 single crochet on the magic ring. As I told you earlier, work loose stitches around the magic rings. In that way, when you tighten the magic ring, it would be easier for you and your yarn will not break. After this, tighten the magic ring and work a slip stitch on top of your starting single crochet. After this, work chain 4. We are going to work 1 single crochet on the second chain from the hook. Also work 1 single crochet each on next 2 chains as well. And then we are going to work a slip stitch on the next stitch of your round 1. We're going to repeat this round. We're going to work a chain 4, and then we are going to work 1 single crochet on the second chain from the hook, and then we are going to work 1 single crochet on next 2 chains. And then we are going to work a slip stitch on the next stitch of round 1. We are going to repeat this pattern around. You should have 5 of these leaves. After my last leaf is worked, I'm going to work a slip stitch to the starting stitch, and then I'll snip off my yarn and then go ahead work slip stitches to secure this yarn and then snip off this bit. Now insert your yarn to the center of this leaf and pull the long loop that we have left before starting this work, and insert your hook to some stitch nearby and make a loop in order for us to work chains. I'm going to go ahead work 3 chains and then work a slip stitch and then snip off my yarn. So it will be like a stem. So that's why I told you to leave a long yarn before starting your magic ring. Just secure all the odd bits of yarn and snip off the odd bits of yarn. Now we are going to use a hot glue gun to secure this leaf to the top of the head. Before that, we'll start working the details. I'm just working the eye details. After that, I'll go ahead work the mouth, and then we'll just work the strawberry skin part, which is just with just the white yarn. Always since we are working with the chenille yarn, make sure you use size 5 or thick yarn for working the details, skin details. For mouth, you can use size 4 black yarn. The skin details need not be perfect, just give even spacing to work the seeds on the skin. I'll just use the tapestry needle to do that. But a quick tip when you're working the details on the skin, do not pull the yarn too tight, which is going to affect the shape of the frog. So just work loose details around the skin. If you try to pull up very tightly, so the shape of the frog will change. So make sure you're working very carefully when you're working the details. Or if you want to just work a plain frog instead of the strawberry details, you can do so. Now I have worked the skin details, and then we can go ahead glue gun the leaf to the top of the head. Our strawberry frog is ready. So cute, so fluffy, and so chubby. I hope you enjoyed making this frog. As you can see, it has a minimal sewing. So you can try this at home, and if you want a free written pattern of the strawberry frog, you can find it in my website, theyarnbowlcrochet.com. Link for that is available in the description. And if you have an Instagram account, do follow me on my Instagram handle as well if you want to know the quick updates or projects that I'm working. And please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl Crochet YouTube channel as well. Thanks for watching.